for 9 unforgettable.
Jean Maurice Orowitz on October 31st, 1936, in Queens, New York. On screen, Landon was the steady anchor of the show, a man who guided his family through unimaginable hardships with a gentle voice and a heart of gold. However, off-screen, his real-life journey took a devastatingly tragic turn. In 1991, fans around the world were left completely shattered when Landon was diagnosed with an aggressive form of pancreatic cancer. He faced his illness with the same quiet courage as Pa Ingalls, but tragically passed away on July 1st, 1991, at just 54 years old. He left behind a profound legacy of storytelling and warmth that continues to comfort new generations of audiences even today. The spirited, fiercely independent, and endlessly curious Laura Ingalls, affectionately known as Half Pint, was beautifully portrayed by Melissa Gilbert. Born May 8, 1964, in Los Angeles, California. Growing up on screen, viewers fell in love with her infectious smile and tomboy charm.
Watching her navigate the bittersweet transition from a young girl into a strong woman. But the reality of growing up as a child star carried a heavy burden.
Off camera, Melissa fought quiet, grueling battles with intense public pressure, severe health issues, including multiple spinal surgeries, and struggles with addiction. Yet, mirroring Laura's incredible resilience, she fought her way back to the light. Today, at 62 years old, she lives a peaceful, grounded life on a rustic farm in New York, finding the simple, quiet happiness that her Prairie character always cherished. Caroline Ingalls, the gentle yet incredibly strong matriarch who held the family together through every storm, was played by Karen Grassel. Born February 25th, 1942, in Berkeley, California. With her soothing presence and unwavering faith, Ma was the comforting embrace every viewer wished for during hard times. But behind her calm,
on-screen demeanor, Karen was fighting a silent, terrifying battle with alcoholism that threatened to derail her life, alongside stressful hidden contract disputes with the network. Through sheer willpower, she eventually conquered her demons and found lasting sobriety. Now a graceful 84 years old, she continues to be deeply respected for her candid honesty, her resilience, and the unforgettable maternal warmth she gave to television. Victor French, Mr. Edwards. The jovial, rough around the edges, yet fiercely loyal family friend, Isaiah Edwards, was unforgettably played by Victor French.
Born December 4th, 1934, in Santa Barbara, California, Mr. Edwards brought robust laughter and profound emotional depth to the mountain, often acting as a protective uncle to the Ingalls children. Behind the scenes, Victor was Michael Landon's closest real-life friend, sharing a bond that was just as pure as their on-screen brotherhood. Tragically, their brotherhood was cut short when Victor was diagnosed with advanced lung cancer. He passed away on June 15, 1989, at the age of 54, just 2 years before Landon. His death was a massive heartbreak for the cast, but his booming laugh and tender heart remain forever etched in television history.
The beautiful, golden-haired eldest daughter, Mary Ingalls, was brought to life by Melissa Sue Anderson. Born September 26, 1962, in Berkeley, California. Viewers watched in absolute heartbreak as Mary went from a bright, ambitious student to suffering the devastating loss of her eyesight. It was one of the most emotional storylines in television history, and Melissa played it with breathtaking grace, earning an Emmy nomination at just 15 years old. Off-screen, Melissa often felt isolated from the rest of the child actors, maintaining a quiet, private distance. Unlike her tragic on-screen character, Melissa's real life took a peaceful turn. She eventually stepped away from the harsh glare of Hollywood, moving to Canada in the 1990s to focus entirely on raising her family. Today, at 63 years old, she lives a quiet, content life away from the cameras, cherishing her privacy and the iconic legacy she left behind.
Every great story needs a character we love to hate, and no one played that better than Allison Arngrim as the spoiled, golden-curled Nellie Oleson. Born January 18th, 1962, in New York City. Nellie was the ultimate prairie bully, constantly tormenting Laura with a cruel smile. But behind the scenes, the reality was completely the opposite. Allison and Melissa Gilbert were completely inseparable, sharing a profound, lifelong friendship that survived long after the camera stopped rolling. Allison's childhood, however, was marked by deep personal trauma, which she bravely revealed years later, using her platform to protect other vulnerable children. Today, at 64 years old, she is a fiercely dedicated activist, an author, and a comedian who embraces her title as television's most famous mean girl with remarkable humor and grace.
The gossiping, sharp-tongued, yet unforgettable Harriet Olsen was masterfully portrayed by Catherine McGregor. Born January 12th,
1925, in Glendale, California. Catherine infused Harriet with so much comedic brilliance that it was impossible to imagine Walnut Grove without her meddling presence. She was a deeply trained theater actress who poured her entire soul into the character. But off-screen, her life took a very different path. After the series ended, Catherine completely abandoned television, dedicating her life to local theater and her profound spiritual journey in the Hindu faith. She lived a deeply private, quiet life, surrounded by rescued animals and art. Sadly, on November 14th, 2018, the Prairie lost its most vibrant personality when Catherine passed away at the age of 93. Her passing marked the end of an era, but her unmatched comedic timing lives on forever.
Beside the fiery Harriet stood her incredibly patient, long-suffering husband, Nels Olson, played beautifully by Richard Bull. Born June 26, 1924, in Zion, Illinois. Nels was the moral compass of the Olson family, a quiet, decent man who constantly tried to teach his spoiled children the value of kindness. In real life, Richard was just as gentle and devoted as the man he played. He shared a beautiful, lifelong marriage with his wife, Barbara, spanning an incredible 65 years, a true rarity in Hollywood. Even in his final years, Richard remained close friends with his Prairie family. He passed away peacefully on February 3rd, 2014, at the age of 89. When he died, Melissa Gilbert beautifully noted that he was in every sense as good and kind as the beloved storekeeper we all grew up with.
The mischievous, street-smart, yet deeply sensitive adopted son, Albert, was played by Matthew Laberteau. Born December 8, 1966, in Los Angeles, California. Matthew's own life mirrored his character's journey in a beautiful way, as he was adopted in real life, bringing a profound, authentic emotion to Albert's desperate search for a family. Viewers wept during Albert's devastating storylines, from his battle with addiction to his tragic terminal illness. After growing up on the Prairie, Matthew eventually transitioned away from on-screen acting. Instead, he found massive success behind the microphone, becoming a highly respected voice actor for animation and video games. Now 59 years old, he lives a very private life, leaving fans to forever remember the sweet, loyal boy who finally found a home with the Ingalls. The handsome, hard-working farmer who finally won Laura's heart, Almanzo Wilder, was brought to life by Dean Butler. Born May 20th, 1956, in British Columbia, Canada. Joining the cast in the later seasons, Dean had the incredibly difficult task of growing up alongside America's favorite little girl, transforming her from half-pint into a beloved wife and mother. Their on-screen romance became the emotional anchor of the final seasons. Off-camera, Dean embraced the pioneer spirit long after the show ended. He shifted his talents behind the camera, becoming an acclaimed documentary filmmaker, dedicating much of his life to preserving the true history of the real Laura Ingalls Wilder. Today, at 70 years old,
he remains one of the greatest champions of the Prairie's legacy, keeping the frontier history alive for generations to come.
The sweet, innocent little Carrie Ingalls, who famously tumbled down the hill in the opening credits, was actually played by identical twins, Lindsay and Sydney Greenbush. Born May 25, 1970, in Hollywood, California. Sharing the grueling demands of a child actor, the twins grew up under the blazing hot sun of the Simi Valley set. But unlike many child stars, the Greenbush twins walked away from the industry on their own terms. As they grew older, they traded the cameras for a completely normal life. Lindsay pursued her passion for amateur boxing, while Sydney dedicated her life to barrel racing and training horses. However, tragedy struck Sydney's life when her husband unexpectedly passed away, a heartbreaking loss she navigated away from the public eye. Today, at 56 years old, the twins live quiet, completely regular lives, forever bonded by their shared childhood on the most famous prairie in the world.
The spiritual shepherd of Walnut Grove, the gentle and wise Reverend Alden, was played by veteran actor Dabbs Greer. Born April 2nd, 1917, in Fairview, Missouri. Reverend Alden's sermons brought comfort to the Ingalls and to millions of viewers, serving as the moral heartbeat of the town. Dabbs was already a legendary character actor when he joined the show, and his career spanned over half a century. Fans of modern cinema might also recognize him as the older version of Tom Hanks's character in the emotional finale of The Green Mile. Dabbs never married, dedicating his entire beautiful life to the craft of acting. He passed away on April 28, 2007, at the incredible age of 90, leaving behind a legacy of warmth, dignity, and unwavering faith.
The tireless, compassionate physician who delivered the babies and healed the sick, Dr. Hiram Baker, was portrayed by Kevin Hagen. Born April 3rd, 1928, in Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Baker was a man of science and deep feeling, often breaking viewers' hearts when he couldn't save a beloved character. Before The Prairie, Kevin frequently played ruthless villains in westerns, making his tender performance as Doc Baker a beautiful revelation of his acting range. Tragically, the man who played the town healer faced a terrible health battle of his own. In 2004, Kevin was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. He fought bravely, but passed away on July 9th, 2005, at the age of 77. His warm smile and soothing voice remain a comforting memory for everyone who ever wished for a doctor just like him. The beloved, gentle-voiced schoolteacher, Eva Beadle, was played by Charlotte Stewart. Born February 27th, 1941, in Yuba City, California. Miss Beadle nurtured the minds of the Walnut Grove children, always greeting them with a warm smile and the smell of lemon verbena. But off-screen, Charlotte's life was completely chaotic and filled with intense darkness. During the height of her fame, she was secretly battling a severe addiction to drugs and alcohol, eventually facing homelessness and despair. Adding to her tragedy,
she later fought a terrifying battle with breast cancer. But just like the pioneers she represented, Charlotte survived. She got completely sober, rebuilt her life from the ashes, and wrote a candid memoir about her harrowing journey. Today, at 85 years old, she stands as a profound symbol of survival and redemption, deeply cherished by the fans who never stopped loving her.
The towering, gentle giant, Jonathan Garvey, who became Charles Ingalls' strongest ally, was played by the legendary Merlin Olsen. Born September 15, 1940, in Logan, Utah. Before he ever set foot on the prairie, Merlin was an absolute powerhouse, a ferocious Hall of Fame football player for the Los Angeles Rams. Yet, on screen, he was a man of profound gentleness and loyalty. But his life was cut short by a silent, deadly enemy. In 2009, Merlin was diagnosed with mesothelioma, a rare and aggressive cancer caused by asbestos exposure from his youth. He fought his illness with the same quiet strength he showed on the football field, but tragically passed away on March 11th, 2010, at the age of 69. The world lost a gentle giant, but his enormous heart is immortalized in every episode he graced.
The orphaned, traumatized little boy, James Cooper, who the Ingalls family took in, was played by a young Jason Bateman. Born January 14th, 1969, in Rye, New York. Jason's emotional storylines, including a gripping bank robbery episode, showcased a profound talent at a very young age. Unlike many child actors whose careers fade, Jason's trajectory skyrocketed. He navigated the difficult transition to adult acting, overcoming his own admitted struggles with substance abuse in the 1990s to become Hollywood royalty. Today, at 57 years old, he is a massive A-list superstar and an Emmy-winning director, known worldwide for shows like Arrested Development and Ozark. From the dusty roads of the prairie to the absolute peak of Hollywood, his journey is nothing short of incredible.
Shannon Doherty, Jenny Wilder. The sweet, braided niece of Almanzo, Jenny Wilder, was played by a very young Shannon Doherty. Born April 12, 1971, in Memphis, Tennessee. Little did audiences know that this quiet prairie girl would grow up to be one of the most famous and controversial television megastars of the 1990s, dominating screens in Beverly Hills 90210 and Charmed. But Shannon's real-life story became one of the most heartbreaking battles in modern Hollywood. For years, she waged an incredibly brave, public war against stage 4 breast cancer, sharing her darkest, most vulnerable moments with the world to help others. Tragically, after fighting with the heart of a true warrior, Shannon passed away on July 13th, 2024, at just 53 years old. Her loss shattered the entertainment world, closing the chapter on a little girl who started in Walnut Grove and became a legend. Let's take one final quiet moment to honor the beautiful memories they created and the profound legacy they left behind. If this journey back to the prairie touched your heart, please leave a like, subscribe, and share your favorite memory of the show in the comments below. From all of us here at Timeless Voices, thank you for watching, and may their stories stay with you.